You're listening to BVRN, the Black Vault Radio Network. From the bizarre world of the paranormal to the sinister secrets of the U.S. government, the Black Vault has become known worldwide as the premier spot for anything and everything conspiracy. Now, join me, John Greenwald Jr., as we dive into the research together in hopes to decipher these mysteries. This is the Black Vault Radio. That's right, this is the Black Vault Radio. I am your host, John Greenwald Jr., a very tired host, to be honest with you. I've been up all night long, working. Oh, I hate pulling those all-nighters sometimes. Although, you know what, I don't mind it, because this is a show I haven't told you guys about. You know, as many of you know, I work in television production. I'm a producer and writer, and been directing for shows like The Universe on the History Channel, and just started another one, which I will tell you about in the coming months, because it's still unfolding, actually, as we speak. So not much to say there. However, on periodically on Tuesday, Wednesday nights, not every week, but for the most part of the last couple of months, and in the coming months, I have been working as an editor on a Fox reality show called Reality Binge. And Reality Binge is all about reality television, updating you on, I don't know, who gets kicked off of your favorite shows, or voted off, or cast off the island, or kicked out of the house, or hung from the rafters. I don't know. Whatever crazy reality shows you guys watch. I hate to admit it, because I work on a show like this. I don't watch a lot of reality shows, to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm kind of the old school type of guy. I like to learn something from the television shows that I watch, but but I will admit, I don't know if you guys have seen Wipeout. I think it's NBC, and if it's not, I'll probably get letters. But have you guys seen Wipeout? Oh my God, I'm addicted to this show. It's one of the few shows that has graced my TiVo. So I have been hooked a little bit on Wipeout, but I think it's kind of running its course with me a little bit. If you watch it, you'll know what I mean. It's just kind of a little bit too much slamming heads around, and there's only so much of that you can watch week to week, and that's kind of all you see on Wipeout. So here I am hyping the show up. It's not that great. Forget it. Don't even tune in. Who cares? Hey, but anyway, Reality Binge. It's actually on tonight. If you're listening to the Black Vault Radio, this show, on Thursday, the day that it goes live, don't miss it tonight. If you get the Fox reality show, Reality Binge, you'll see my credit roll at the very end. Well, anyway, I was up all night long working on this darn thing. It's a great show to work with. It's through Weller Grossman Productions, who I've been on and off with, mostly on for the past probably 3.5, 4 years now. And they have this great show on the Fox reality channel. Again, Reality Binge, check it out. We finally delivered the show. The crazy thing is it's a weekly 1-hour show. We update you on what's going on in the reality TV world, but the problem is some of the shows we update you on air on Wednesday night, and it airs on Thursday, which means we got to get those shows in, and we got to shoot our host, Eric Toms, who is an absolutely brilliant host, and that's it. I'm not going to hype it up anymore. If you guys care, go watch it. It's a great show. Coming up on this episode is a dear friend of mine, and somebody who's coming up in the field of ufology, going around giving lectures, but not on the research that he's done. It's more about the experiences he has had, and it's not the experiences you would think about. It's actually the experiences he has had as a television producer, writer, and director himself. Duane Tudahl has been heading up some of the projects that I've worked on, co-produced with me on other projects that I've worked on, edited for me, directed for me, and we have worked with and for each other on multiple different programs for the History Channel and other networks alike. Duane Tudahl is coming on to talk a little bit about his experiences in television, to give you some insight on what he's experienced, and to blow away that conspiracy theory that network executives are involved in some type of cover-up. We're here to tell you that there is no conspiracy there. If we can tell a good story and it supports the UFO phenomena, they'll let us tell it. Duane Tudahl's coming up. He'll support my theory and tell you a little bit about our experiences. And welcome back to the Black Vault Radio. I am your host, John Greenwald Jr., and joining me on the phone is somebody who I've wanted to get on the show for quite some time. He's not only a producer and name that you will recognize as being on the credit list of many UFO Files episodes on the History Channel, but he's also a dear friend of mine, one of my best, Mr. Duane Tudahl. Duane, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, John. How you doing?
We're both laughing.
That was a very nice intro. Thank you.
Well, short and sweet, my friend, short and sweet. But we're both laughing because we're talking off the air, and we know it's just going to be a fun hour. And I want to tell all the listeners, I want you to tell them, actually, who are you? Who is Duane Tudahl, for God's sakes?
Who am I?
Who are you? It's a deep, loaded question.
Okay, let me give you a little background about myself. I was born in Baltimore, Maryland. I worked as a photographer for Johns Hopkins in the pathology department, so I got a lot of experience when it came to putting things on camera. My dad was a photographer, and I learned a lot about that and a lot about analyzing photographs.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved out here to California back in '87, and I started working on a lot of reality TV shows like Cops and Unsolved Mysteries as a videotape editor. And I sort of moved up from there to start directing for a number of shows and things like that, writing several shows. And in a nutshell, to get you quickly to where what's interesting for this show is I started working for Weller Grossman Productions, and we were doing a show called UFO Files. And I edited a few of those episodes, early episodes, where I was just the editor, and that's actually where I first saw you because you were in the first episode I was airing, editing, which was the When UFOs Arrive.
And that was on screen. I should mention that I wasn't involved in production yet, but Duane saw me on screen as one of the experts. So I'm sorry to interrupt.
And I fell in love.
And it was history ever since. We've been together. Yes.
Yeah. I think we're celebrating an anniversary actually. But it was. I remember seeing you and thinking, who's this kid? And laughing. I had no idea you'd become one of my better friends. And I just remember because I was working on that was produced by Jeffrey Willerth, and so he kind of brought you in the fold. And then eventually, I know that you got brought back aboard in a production way. I'm trying to think what was your first position on the show?
Well, it started as the associate producer and showed up at Weller Grossman and.
Okay, that's what it was. And I just remember you and I started hanging out, and I thought you were pretty funny, and I liked your interest in UFOs. And actually, you were one of the guys that got me really re-interested in it because when I was a kid, I used to read a lot about UFOs, and I read the Eric Von Daniken books and watched the documentaries back there, The Chariots of the Gods and Gods from Outer Space. And all this stuff. But as I got older, I discovered girls and realized that there was things
there was more to it. I have yet to discover them.
Outside there. And I really kind of dropped the whole thing. And when I started working on these shows, I went into it kind of as a non-believer. That's cute, that's funny, and thought, but there's no proof. And I'm one of these guys that really likes to have some sort of evidence or, proof, whether it's, I don't know what it could be, but I thought, there's nothing. It's always, Zeke and Cletus in a swamp somewhere looking up and seeing a light. And that's what I went into this thinking. And I was actually startled to find out that there may actually be something worth looking into. And that was the thing that started me on a journey of discovery. And when I first started there, I didn't, you'll attest, I didn't know a lot about the subject matter.
Right.
Still make jokes about, me not knowing much. But I think you also see that I've read a lot and really kind of looked into it, gone to a lot of conventions.
Yeah, and I wanted to, I'm going to interrupt you because you're being very, very modest. You're not only a speaker on the circuit now, going around and lecturing to UFO groups and conferences and so on and so forth, the Aztec UFO conference in, is it April? Do I have that right? Was it April?
It was in March.
March. But March, and you were recently at the Mutual UFO Network in Los Angeles, speaking for that group. But also, even pre your UFO history, is your background in television. I was a young little pup when you and I met in this business, but your history has spanned many different shows. Now, I don't want to put you totally on the spot, but can you name some of your big shows that you worked on beforehand? Because I think it all plays a role in how
Sure.
you viewed and still view the topic.
Okay, yeah. Well, like I said, I worked on Unsolved Mysteries for a while, for 4 years. And with Unsolved Mysteries, one of the great things is